Yo, what's up? Welcome to the channel. How y'all guys doing, man? Playing a little bit of Fight Night Champion. I don't know. Been playing the game a little bit lately. Well, not really. You know, I might play a one-off match ever so often. You know, I wanted to play on Xbox, but I forgot I don't have Xbox Live, so I jumped on the PlayStation. You know, where it's still free to play on PS3. Of course, another heavyweight matchup. You know, this time, instead of using Vladimir, I'm using Vitaly for the first time. I never used Vitaly ever in this game. I used him on round 4, but never in this game. So, it's a little change of pace. You know, dude picked Joe Louis, so that's definitely a change of pace. Haven't played against Joe Louis ever in this game, so when I saw how fast he can jab, I was like, damn, this dude can jab like a lightweight. So, you know, early on, man, he swarmed on me, you know what I'm saying? I wasn't really paying attention to the game. I was like talking shit, text messaging. So, you know, it is what it is, man. But yeah, man, I mean, this game still looks good, plays great. Of course, you know, the Xbox 360 version is where it is. I mean, if they want to make a game backwards compatible, this would be the game to be backwards compatible, since I'm pretty sure everybody out there, well, I'm not gonna say everybody, but I'm pretty sure most people, even if you're not a real boxing fan, you don't really watch the sport, but you enjoy the game, I'm pretty sure a lot of people would appreciate if this game was backwards compatible, you know, on the Xbox One or through an emulation or something on the PS4. I mean, me personally, man, I wouldn't mind seeing round 2, since they like to do this PS2 emulation thing. Go ahead and put round 2 on there, man. Like, throw some trophies on it or whatever. You know, that's like, to me, that was like my favorite fight night. Pretty sure, you know, most people favorite fight night probably varies. Some people like round 4, some people like round 3 more, some people like 2004 or champion. You know, I would rank them round 2 champion, round 4 round 3 2004. I mean, 2004 was, you know, legit. Chris Bird was the man, period. At heavyweight, man, he was fast. You know, he was the fastest heavyweight. He was the only southpaw. You know what I'm saying? So he was, and he hit pretty damn hard, man. He didn't really hit all that hard, you know, in life. You know what I'm saying? I mean, yeah, he got his finishes, but you know, he was just quick. He was like super fast, man, and you know, in real life, and super defensive at the same time. He was like really hard to hit. You know, of course, he got caught, you know, slipping against the Klitschko. You know, they always had each other's back. You know, one lose a match, the other one like, yo, I'm gonna take off for my brother, man. I'm about to come get you out of here, Corey Sanders. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, man, nevertheless, man, it was fun playing those games back in the day. You know, everybody, man, we used to like me and my homeboys, like when we used to play the game, we played heavyweight. Like everybody wanted to play with Chris Bird. So man, we would like do rock, paper, scissors to see who's gonna be able to play with Chris Bird to pick him, because I mean, you know, he was just that dude. You know, like even if you never even seen Chris Bird, like if you play with him on the game, you'll understand, man. It's like, damn, this dude is just so damn fast. Like the closest thing, you know, Roy Jones Jr. and then Muhammad Ali. Those are the closest things to him in terms of speed. But you know, you got the little things, little knickknacks, man. I mean, I just really want to see another boxing game. So hopefully in the near future somebody, you know, comes up with something. I mean, whether, you know, 2K want to revisit Don King prize fighter or whatever, but you know, scrap the Don King thing. Like get the Don King out of here, man. PBC boxing, period, man. Al Heyman, bro, you got the money, man. You already know, man. You got the money, my dude. You can make it happen, man. But yeah, that's enough talking about this. I want to switch to a topic, you know, something that's coming up tomorrow. You already know what time it is. Big extravaganza. With just a day away from the most anticipated event in all of boxing, I'm not going to say matchup, but definitely event. I'm pretty sure, you know, there are some other matchups amongst like hardcore boxing fans that people want to see. Obviously, Canelo versus Triple G, Errol Spence versus Keith Thurman, and since, you know, a guy like Terrence Crawford has all the belts at 140 pounds. Him moving up, I mean, who wouldn't want to see him against Errol Spence or Keith Thurman, anything like that. Anthony Joshua, Deontay Wilder, Luis Ortiz, mix and match. But anyways, definitely the biggest event, the biggest matchup in combat sports history, period. Not since Muhammad Ali versus Antonio Inoki. Alright, that was a joke, by the way. But yeah, man, so definitely, man, so tomorrow for $100, you get to see, two guys that parallel each other. Might just have a difference in skin tone, a little bit different language that we speak, as far as slang and terminology goes. But, guys are very similar. One guy, in his sport, he flattens shit. The other guy, he stings people, keep them off him a little bit. And, he might ride out to a decision. I mean, early in his days, he used to hurt people. But, it is what it is, man. So, I mean, the card is finally here. Been talked about for years. Probably like what, at first it was like, hey, man, I think Ronda Rousey could beat Floyd Mayweather in a boxing match. Stop it, please. The one person that, could pose problems to him is the one right here, the man with the awkward movement and excellent hands, for MMA, for sure. As far as, boxing, I mean, anything can happen, man. All it takes is one good punch that you don't see, and that could be night over for anybody. I mean, if you look at Floyd Mayweather's 49 fights, you can take away 5 that he really had issues with. Emmanuel Augustus, for sure. Emmanuel Augustus was the one dude that forced him to get into a brawl. He was getting frustrated. He couldn't really hit the dude. Yeah, he was winning the matchup, and it really wouldn't have been close on the scorecards otherwise. But Emmanuel Augustus was touching him, hitting him, bust his face up. You know what I'm saying? He made Floyd Mayweather turn street. Had to get into a street fight, basically, to try to TKO him and get him out of there. I mean, I think it was an early stoppage, but it is what it is, man. But Jose Luis Castillo, the first fight, obviously, he tore his shoulder in the first round. He complained about it. And then, he went on to fight on. But, for the most part, the damage done during that fight was definitely against the ropes. If you look at the first Maidana fight, again, he put himself on the ropes. I think he was just trying to make that fight look good. Because obviously, with the way the second fight went, it obviously could have gone the exact same way with the first fight. Same thing with the Oscar De La Hoya matchup. Oscar De La Hoya backed him up, put him on the ropes, and that's what he did. His best work when it was out in the open. Oscar couldn't really catch up to him. He looked old and slow, and obviously a year later he definitely looked old and slow when he took on Manny Pacquiao. And the last fight was Ricky Hatton. Ricky Hatton was all over Floyd. It was ugly. He made it ugly. He was aggressive. He got it. He was all over him. But, second half, somewhere around the 5th round, Ricky Hatton was doing all types of things. I think at that point, going into the 6th round, you could have had Ricky Hatton up 4 rounds to 1. I'm pretty sure most people did. But then he just started getting super sloppy, and he started getting boxed up. Eventually, he got knocked out, head laying on the Rockstar logo. I mean, another matchup, you could have said Zab Judah for the first 4 rounds. Looked really good. He even got the knockdown. Even with that knockdown, had it counted, even though it probably should have counted, but had it counted, he still would have ended up losing the decision either way. It really wouldn't have changed anything in the matchup, especially going forward, moving on. But yeah, man, I mean, as far as Conor McGregor goes, man, Conor McGregor has a chance as good as anybody. I mean, he has a nice punch. He has strange techniques. He has the ability to switch stances, from orthodox to southpaw. But he primarily has fought southpaw, for the past 5 years or whatever. He used to switch between the two. And, you know, also being trained in various martial arts, you know, he'll have different looks and stances that he'll be able to use. He has really long arms. You know, he has the height advantage. He obviously is going to have the weight advantage come fight night. He's probably going to be in the matchup coming in around like probably like 165 pounds maybe. You know, so he's going to have a size advantage. Now, as far as the speed goes, you know, it's, you know, I still think Floyd, even at 40 years old, probably still have a speed advantage in terms of footwork, probably hand speed. But, you know, with the power, and thing about these 8-ounce gloves is, man, fighting at 147, you're automatically fighting 8-ounce gloves for the most part. You know, sometimes you fight at, you know, 10-ounce gloves, it depends. But for the most part, you know, the man has fought 8-ounce gloves primarily his entire career down there, you know, save for a few fights. But, you know, that really doesn't make much of a difference. Prediction wise, of course, man, I just think that I don't know, I just think Floyd by decision. I mean, that seems like a safe bet. I think Conor will hit him. I think Conor gonna get his attention. If you look at his matchups, you know, he either like against southpaws, you know, Chop Corley. He whooped Chop's ass, but Chop was able to hit him with some straights. You know, Zab Judah, like I said, caught him with a counter punch and got a knockdown that didn't count. Manny Pacquiao was able to hit him with an overhand over the top. So, you know, anything can happen. I think he will get hit with one. I think, you know, the safe bet for him is if he does get hit with one, stay against the ropes, because, you know, he has a mean clinch game. Yeah, Conor may have the clinch. He should have the clinch advantage, you know, coming from MMA, but, you know, with boxing gloves, you can't really get a hell of a grip on him. But, you know, I don't know, man. Floyd got like some monkey arms or some shit. You know what I'm saying? He tied dude up real quick, man. So, you know, it is what it is, man. I hope it's a good matchup. You know, for the people that, especially for the people that's gonna spend the money. I mean, I know everybody want to see somebody get finished, somebody get stopped. I mean, it could happen. Anything could happen. Anything is possible. You know, I mean, the last time, you know, Floyd looked like he really wanted to go out there and go out with a bang was against Arturo Gatti. And Conor McGregor always, you know, is patient, calm, and cool. You know, he's always looking for the perfect counter shot. You know, he's always looking for the finish. I mean, you know, if you look at his MMA career standing, the only person that gave him, you know, issues was Nate Diaz. And that's, you know, I mean, Nate, he has an awkward boxing style. You know, probably not as efficient as Nick's, but, you know, it gets the job done, you know, for the most part, until, you know, he takes on somebody that's stronger than him, you know, wrestling. But, yeah, man, I don't know. Should be an interesting matchup. You know, I want to see it. You know, I'm pretty sure a lot of people want to see it. You know, just to be like, hey, I got to see it. You know, because, like, for either person, you know, it's a loss for Floyd Mayweather is bad for him, but it's not bad for his bank account. A loss for Conor McGregor is not all that bad for him, since you can say, like, hey, he's not a professional boxer, he's a real fighter. But still, it's a win for his bank account. So it's a win for the bank accounts for these guys, period. Like, everybody that's involved, you know, Al Heyman, Richard Schaefer, the money team, McGregor Promotions, the UFC, Zuffa, whatever, WME, whoever owns the UFC. So it's a W for them in terms of monetary gain. But, you know, as far as, you know, status and ranking, like, I mean, whoever wins, like if Floyd wins, no, you're not you know, it's just another win. Yeah, you get 50-0. You know, with if Conor wins, then Conor's the king of the world. Like, period. Like, you know, he can get another match. You know, probably he can with this. Hell, he can get a Triple G Canelo match. I mean, if he loses, he can still get a matchup with one of them. Like, whoever loses that matchup, I'm pretty sure Oscar De La Hoya will be seething at the moment. You know, he's talking all this shit, but he was the one that was like, yeah, man, I think he should fight a guy like Canelo. Like, man, calm down. But when he doesn't fight Canelo and he takes on Floyd, and it's like, it's not a real fight. Nobody wants to see that. Like, I mean, yeah, right. Pretty much. I mean, not for $100,000 fucking ticket. No. But, I mean, yeah, bro. It's, I don't know. It's crazy. It's a lot of things. You know, anything can happen. Anything's possible. You know, John Jones on steroids. I mean, who knew, huh? I mean, hey. You know, I'm not going to be like, hey, steroids made him better. You know, I mean, you still got to train. You still got to work out. So, you know, it might have enhanced him a little bit, but, hey, things happen. You know, so looking forward to it.